the Entrepreneurial CPA Show, where we take a deep dive into the knowledge that you need to break free of the box. In case you missed watching us live, check out this recording from part 1 of our series on the evolution into advisory services. Part 1, as you might remember, is all about the software solutions to make this shift. In this video, we're going to look at MyCompanyWorks and how they help you do that. Because in order to transition to advisory services, you need to make sure you're nailing the compliance pieces. Get it done faster, better, right the first time. Free up your people to do more high-value services. And MyCompanyWorks does a tremendous job of streamlining the filing, the due dates, the board minutes, the stock certificates, the stock transfers, the compliance, all of that part of the process, from the formation to the dissolution. Nobody does it better than MyCompanyWorks. And with that, I'm happy to welcome our first guest today. We've got Matt Knee, president of MyCompanyWorks. We're very happy to have him here because before you can get kickstarted in the promised land of advisory services, you need to nail down the compliance work, whether you work inside a CPA firm or you work in a business. The compliance work, the filing, the paperwork, it's got to get done and it's got to be right the first time. MyCompanyWorks is going to help you do that better than anybody else and just put it on autopilot so you can be successful. And with that, I'll kick it off to Matt to tell you all about MyCompanyWorks. Oh, hold on, Matt. There we go. You're good to go.
Okay. MyCompanyWorks is a business formation and entity management software platform. So we do everything related to business entities, from starting them to keeping them compliant, maintaining them, and even closing them. We file dissolution documents if necessary. So we work with a ton of CPAs. We help them stop doing those things that are actually really not core to them, and kind of goes along with your theme about helping them move into more advisory roles. So we've been in business since 2001. We have over 50,000 clients worldwide. We have about 20% of our clients are international. We found a lot of CPAs are dealing now with international clients, which is interesting. So we think we'd like to make lives easier for accountants. You know, you don't want to keep up with the states, the changing laws, the forms, the fees, annual report, filing dates, various other hassles, you know, that is really, again, not core. You want to focus on the tax part, or at least the advisory part, and we kind of take that off your hands. So we have one account, and as you can see on your screen there, it's a web-based, it's a software as a service, but it's actually free to use for our resellers, whom we call it our accountant and our CPA partners resellers. Because you have this one account, we'll give it to you for free, and you can manage an unlimited amount of companies within that account. So if you look right here, so this would be like the first screen you would see when you log in to your dashboard. We call it the My Account dashboard, the MAD. And if you see across the top, if you can see it okay, you can do multiple things here. You can start a new company for one of your clients. You could just do a new corporation, an LLC, file a DBA. If you have existing companies that you manage, which I'm sure most of you do, you can do all kinds of cool things for them. We file amendments for them, change their company name, update the state records. You can update their company info within the dashboard. You can even close the company out. And then you can see we have some maintenance stuff on the top right. So we have a compliance lock product. This does the very important stuff for minutes, meeting minutes, annual shareholders meetings, annual members meetings for LLCs. You could file an annual report. We do annual reports, all 50 states. Register. You know, you find your client moving, expanding to other states. You got to follow the law. You got to register in those states. We handle that as well. So, and then through various times throughout your company's life, your clients' life cycles, they're going to need copies or certificates of good standing, as they call them. And we do a ton of those. We can gather those all in one. We have accounts with all the states. We have an intranet where we keep track of how to stay on top of these, how to do them right. You know, again, your CPA, you don't want to spend all day on the phone with the state figuring out what is the best way, the easiest way to get the simple little $35 state fee filing. And we can just handle those little things for you. So continuing on this dashboard, now this is a test one. Obviously, there's a bunch of test companies in here, but we send out alerts. And on the kind of in the middle left there where it says incomplete tasks, you can see that we'll actually send you an alert 60 days before an annual report is due for any of your clients. We will send you an alert if we received any documents for them. We scan everything. Everything is digital. It is all stored here online. Yeah, thank you, Garrett. And so that general section that Garrett just highlighted, these are where the tasks come in. And it really allows you to keep on top. But not only that, it allows you to be proactive. So if you have lots of clients, you could say, hey, you know what? Let me take care of your annual report. It's due in 60 days. You could do a premium. You could charge a massive premium on that. Just have us do it in the background. It'll take 3 minutes, 4 minutes on the order form to submit that, because we've stored all your company's data here. So very, very, very cool way to keep on top of your clients. And boy, they would love you for that, because you know you're actually being proactive. And so over here to the right, you see your orders that are in process. You probably wouldn't have that many in process, but again, this software can expand. We have just an enormous availability to process a massive amount of orders if necessary. So you can see every order that is actually in process. You would be able to click that order number and go straight to the order status, which we will show you step by step down to the minute who is doing what. And it shows we have accountability built in. It shows you which employee is doing that. We also assign account managers to you. You would have your account manager available to there. So that's the dashboard in a nutshell. You can manage almost everything from this one dashboard. Again, unlimited amount of entities. So Garrett, did you want to go to the next screen? So here's another superpower here, is that we found out that a lot of CPAs and entity management people and companies are using like Microsoft Word to keep track of all their companies, or Excel, which is fine. You know, that works okay, but it's not in the cloud. It's not very easy. You can't give others access. So here in this My Company section, you'll see it's kind of selected here on the left dashboard, but the main area here is My Companies. Top right, you can add a company real quick, super quick. You have hundreds of companies, we can import them. It's a custom thing. Yes, exactly, Garrett, thanks. Right there. So we add a company real quick. We just need to know the state, the entity type, and their filing date. Don't even really need to know the filing date, but if you want us to calculate your annual report due date, as you see here in that fourth column there, we'll show you exactly which of your entities are coming up. Have a file date. You can sort by that, because we're looking at a screenshot. You won't be able to see that, but you can sort by any of these columns here. So you can organize them all by state, by company name, the file date, the annual report due date. And then to complete my thought on the add a company, we can actually import hundreds of entities at once if we want to, if necessary, to get them into the system. So that gets them off your plate. We will send you alerts. We will keep track of the things. Annual report dates are always changing. They're always different based on fiscal year, all kinds of weird things. If they're foreign qualified, it changes. We keep on top of that. We eat the fees if we don't get them done in time, if we don't alert you on time. So that's excuse me, that's another part of our guarantee there. So very powerful screen here. We didn't have enough, I didn't have enough screenshots to give you, but if you actually, on this screen, you can actually click through the company name, and we could actually track all your principals, all the members, all the managers, all the officers, directors, and then we even have e-ledger and e-certificates, which I kind of now regret not showing you because it's very cool. The old minute books are going out of style. The large minute books, I don't know if I have one. Now it's all online, and we have it online as well too. So
yeah, and I'll chime in on that. If I've seen, you know, the full MyCompanyWorks behind the scenes of software, and that part is very impressive, because there's always that challenge of you ask your clients, or you're in the finance department for business, okay, Who owns the stock? What's the percentage mix between these 3 or 4 people? When do those people get it? When do they not get it? How does the exchange happen? There's always this just like blank stare. And
yeah, and that's terrifying, right? To an accountant, you're like, geez, this is really important. You need to keep track of who owns the company.
But also in the past, we gave them that black book, which had everything in it. It had some stock certificates. We'd say, okay, when you get a new partner, fill this out, keep track of it in there, and they never did. And this allows a great way to electronically track it in an amazing ledger to work with your clients, get them used to it. I mean, it's really powerful.
It is, and people will actually use it because we've actually made it in an understandable manner. You know, the old school stock certificates, they're using Old English, and you're not even sure, geez, what am I doing here? What does certificated mean? And these various terms. This is very clear. Okay, what is the person's name? How much did they own? When did they acquire these? And then we have a transfer ledger that shows, hey, when did they get rid of them or sell them back to the company? And then we keep track of that whole thing. So very, very helpful to them. So I wish I would have a screenshot of that feature, but it's very cool. Very powerful part of our thing. So we can go on to the My Orders section, which is next if you want. Okay, so I just sent this part of the system. Just, you know, you can keep track here. As again, we have accountability built into it. So if you look on the side there, you can see Matt and Tiffany and Jen and various other people, Ed, have worked on your order. You see exactly who's working on it. You can click through that order number. Yep. And then again, this is all sortable. And then if you look at the top there, menu where it says on the very top, select a company, you can actually sort this. You can show all the companies. You can show your most 10 recent, or you could even just show one company. So very powerful system. You're able to filter on multiple levels. So again, is where your spreadsheets may get out of control, untrackable, unupdatable. Maybe they're not in this cloud. Maybe they're, you want them in the cloud, etc. Very, very simple way to keep track of all your orders. And then just a few minutes left, Garrett. I suppose I'll just go through a few more sections of the software. On the left, we don't have screenshots, but because most of it is accessible from the dashboard that we saw. So going from the top left menu there, the dashboard is where we logged in. My tasks are what those alerts were. So your annual reports, if you've fallen out of compliance, these various other things. We're on the My Orders page right now. You can see there's tracking numbers. We don't do a lot of mailing anymore because almost everything is digital. But if we do mail and you need a paper copy, FedEx or whatever, tracking numbers are right in here. We upload all your documents. Those are also sortable by company, by order type, by state. Everything's sortable. We have a business forms section. We have a section called My Company Forms. That's about 200 or so other business forms that a lot of companies use. That's an optional feature. We already went over the My Companies section. Startup Wizard, forgot to mention this. Startup Wizard, which is also down there, very cool feature. So, if you use us to form a company for one of your clients, we'll give you a guided checklist that is state and entity specific. Like a lot of people don't understand that they need to file something different in each state, perhaps, or keep on track of a weird little filing or maybe a weird little state law. California's got a bunch of little weird state laws. So we don't, we actually custom guide you through that, and you can guide your client. So you can just be looking at this in the background and be advising them on every single step of the way, from getting a bank account to business licenses, and et cetera, et cetera.
And Matt, yeah, that's a great point, because that's really powerful. Because whether you're in your own business and you've got your filings for the business that you run, or you're in a CPA firm, you got all these clients, it's so hard to keep track of all these different filing requirements, the states, the loopholes, all these different pieces. And some of the registered agents that CPA firms will use do such a little fraction of what you do. We've got clients that this dissolved their business, and that process takes us forever to figure out, okay, when was the last time we dissolved the business in New York or Connecticut or Boston, wherever? Okay, what's the process? And it takes us forever to do that. With MyCompanyWorks, it's literally a couple of clicks. Yep, here's the business, dissolve, start the process, and you guys are going to handle it. And our hands are off, and it's done right the first time.
Exactly, and it's end to end. Again, one account, you're tracking all of your companies, that you interact, that you're responsible with, or you want to advise in one place. And we like to keep it simple.
Yeah, it's definitely a simple, unified solution, and especially due dates. I mean, I give you guys all the credit in the world for doing a great job of tracking due dates, because that's one of the hardest things for a firm to do today, or any business, track all those IRS state due dates.
No,
Luckily,
it's almost a full-time job. I mean, they change. I mean, just monitoring the legislature on because they're constantly changing, and they're constantly changing, aspects of it. Like LLCs with managers have a different one than LLCs with members, and you got to keep on top of it. And if you don't, boy, we'll eat the fees. Again, it's 100% satisfaction guarantee, so it's in our interest to keep on top of those.
yeah, which is a great way, and a great way to take that pressure off the firm of, hey, what is that due date coming up? Did the client meet it or not? They have that extra assurance, makes it worthwhile all day long.
Yeah, and for those accountants who's watching and afraid that if you have 100 entities, you're going to get 100 emails. Our system doesn't work like that. It's one email that lists every single entity that's due within the next X amount of days. You can turn that email off. You can just log into the thing. I know that's a big sensitivity point for other systems, because you don't want 100 emails every quarter for your various entities or whatever.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to get over inundated. But it seems like a great solution whether you're just trying to do the basic part of doing the filing, or some of the stuff like the My Company forms, the business forms, the My Documents, that extra pieces you do. It's a great value add that the firms can provide to their clients, past just, I'm going to file the forms for you. I'm going to file the forms, plus here's all these additional tools I'm going to give you that really, as a firm, you're then able to just kind of transition out as a pure value add for free to the client.
Well, absolutely, and I didn't even mention about the compliance lock. It'll automatically complete the minutes for you. It's a wizard-based system, so the name is already in there, the dates, the meetings, the location. They just need to sign it and print it in their minute book, or e-sign it and upload it. Done.
I mean, that's great. That takes the pressure off the clients. 'Cause a lot of times we tell them, hey, did you have minutes this year? Do you have a board meeting? And they kind of shirk and say, probably not. Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
In our experience, 98% no, they didn't do it.
But it's a lot easier if you can just say, here, let's go into your My Compliance lock, check it once a year. What are the steps you got to do? And to do them, just click through, electronically sign it, takes the pressure off, and suddenly they're in compliance. And you as a firm didn't do anything more than choose a great partner to free up the time and free up the resources to move on to other higher value items.
Absolutely. Yeah, we estimated some of these filings were taking some of our partners 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, 3 hours, or and that's your resource time or your assistants or whomever, or 5 or 10 minutes on our order form, depending on how fast you type.
Yeah, that's great. So now, as we're wrapping up Matt's time here, does anybody in our audience have any questions? If so, hit us up in the chat box. We'll get those answered either today or we'll get back to you later. But yeah, Matt, I mean, you hit a nail exactly on the head of a pain point. I remember growing up as a staff accountant. The first time that a partner came to me and said, hey, dissolve this business in Florida. And I was working in Boston at the time. I was like, okay. Like, how do we do that? And the partner's like, I don't know. Go look it up. And yeah, it took us forever to look that up. And it was really not the best use of our time or the firm's time or anybody else's. So, MyCompanyWorks provides a great solution to help you do those most important things for your clients: the filing, the compliance. Get it off your plate, put it on their plate. They're not going to disappoint you.
Yes, thank you. And again, our price point, we're talking like $99 plus state fees for dissolution. So, I mean, easily you could charge 3, 5, and 10 times whatever we are. So there's a massive upgrade potential.
Perfect. All right, with that, Matt, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Hope you enjoyed this session and learn from MyCompanyWorks themselves how they can help your firm grow. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. If you have questions on what you just watched, please reach out to Dr. Sean or myself. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe now to stay up to date. As always, we challenge you to take steps today to change the world and continue to invest in yourself.